Good morning. In this video you're about to view, I'm going to do my best to explain how I get by day to day in light of knowing about near-term human extinction, aka abrupt climate change, and the climate emergency that we're currently enduring. This is in fact a response video to a user named Aaron C. on my Steppenwolf video. He says, I'm going to read directly from his comment. I'd like to comment on the part about people being abrasive. I know that I've done that with people. I'll have conversations and sometimes it gets into this divergence of ideology and they will say some stuff to me that is really out there and it's offensive. I'm not suggesting that that is what you were doing at all. I think it's because everyone's ideological views have very little commonality and we're in this fucking pressure cooker, so everyone is stressed and already feeling invalidated as all hell. In regards to the meditation and stuff, I'm fucking having a real hard time like you processing all the shit that's going on. Do you think that meditation and mindfulness would be helpful, or is that BS? What do you do to survive day to day? This is a profound question, Aaron, and before I seek to answer it, I'm going to give an answer from another user who I think is there, has grasped acceptance and understanding of the full totality of what we face. So let me read that. It's by some Japanese user who I can't pronounce, but you can look for yourself. He says the following. Routines. I start my morning by checking the news and seeing the world burning. I take my coffee and breath and that smell and wonder how much suffering has been and will happen for that one cup. I feel blessed and cursed at the same time. Then I go to work and see my oblivious colleagues who mostly complain silly things. I smirk back and say, it ain't so bad. This is fine. What drives me is peace from knowing that none of this matters, and this moment will not last forever. We're observing one unbelievable moment in existence and witnessing a breakthrough that has never happened before as far as we know it. So much knowledge available and so many reasons to love everything that has led to this moment. Although it's sad to see it all ending, we were the universe becoming aware of itself in a heartbeat and then vanishing. Entropy is longing to balance our silly order. We don't belong to this world forever, but we certainly were a part of it. We didn't take care of Gaia, who cared for us when we were little, and now that she's sick, thanks to us, we find that we were a part of her, a tumor that should have been eliminated before we spread elsewhere in cosmos and breaking something more. I laugh from the idea that perhaps this is just a simulation and entropy is there to try eliminate too much complexity like infinite numbers of consciousness. Anyways, I help those who are troubled. It ain't easy to shift from a human-centric worldview to something else, but when you do, you probably see how miraculous this living planet is in the middle of all this nothingness. It's been a long chain that has led us to this point, but at some time we need to acknowledge that our place has always been somewhere in the middle of that long chain that continues long after us. We belonged right here. What this exemplifies is a human being who's grasped acceptance and understanding in the light of the predicament that we face. The prose that they chose to write in, which is first and third person, really well articulated. The first task is to know yourself and live your truth, whatever that is. But also, you must live the truth of the planet, which is that we don't have much longer here, and things are about to get rapidly worse as time prevails. On the more physical element, you asked about meditation, and I do believe strongly in meditation for its mental benefits. It's been clinically proven to reduce anxiety, and patients who attempt to even do basic meditation for at least 20 minutes a day.
We can see that a person who meditates for even just 2 weeks, 30 minutes a day, shows a different pattern of brain activity than when they started 2 weeks before. And that is really important because it suggests that the brain really is plastic, that we really can make these changes, and that it actually doesn't take that much. A total of 7 hours of practice was sufficient to change the brain in very objective, measurable ways.
If you find yourself getting heated in moments of dispute or general angst through the day about the predicament we face, meditation can be a brilliant tool to get through those struggles. So absolutely incorporate that into your daily regimen. You could also do yoga and focus on your breathing, or aerobic exercise has been proven best for cell regeneration, running, HIIT, high intensity interval training, and you want to throw in some weightlifting, whatever you can around the house, just so you don't look like a scrawny dweeb. So I do all of the above, but you can't do all of that without a good diet. Put omega-369s in your diet, take out the butter, eat only olive oil, a Mediterranean diet, have a stomach culture every day like yogurt or tea or both, ample amount of sleep. Don't eat anything that's processed or manufactured, only whole food ingredients and spices and such like that to mix it up and make the flavor. But anything with something that you can't pronounce on the back, avoid it. If it's like dextromethazane or some kind of weird name, like just trash it. It's not real, and it's probably not doing good for you. But you can't avoid everything. Like there's still the phthalates and plastics that we have literally all around us are apparently decreasing fertility and who knows what other effects long term. So, don't drive yourself crazy, but do the best you can. Exercise again, at least 3 times a week. Eat regularly on a schedule so your insulin cycles, everything. A lot of your mood is determined like how you eat, when you eat, what you eat, how much you sleep, how much you exercise. Like your neurotransmitters are responding to stimuli that you're putting into it, externally and internally. So things that you're experiencing, stress, traumas, like financial worry, like you're a fine-tuned machine, and you should only put the best stuff in it. Unfortunately, a lot of America is food deserts, where places you can't get substantial food, and it's like Dollar General microwave food. So you have to contend with, I can honestly say, let me just say on a personal note, that I feel smarter, like more alert, when I'm eating healthier and exercising and sleeping regularly. Like I can process and comprehend complex equations and problems much quicker, or grasp the concepts. So I just want to cut on, just one last note, avoid cold cuts like ham, turkey sandwiches, Jimmy John's, all that, pretty much all the bullshit everywhere that sells crap. It's crap. I want to preface that a lot of me is desynthesized. The stuff that I've seen, I can't emphasize that I'm a sensitive person who's seen a lot and have had a lot of input in a relatively short amount of time. I just want to cover that I'm a little different. I'm on the personality spectrum. I'm a little bit higher on openness to experience, actually much higher than the average person. Hence, I have a YouTube channel. So with that out the way, I encourage you to live like that fullest life. It has its advantages. Like live your bar none, you have nothing else to lose. You might as well do the craziest, awesomest, most interesting thing you want to do. Because, well, you're alive, and what's the alternative? You're dead. So moving on. Daily life is surreal. I'm not going to lie. Everyone is asleep. It's like walking around as if I'm walking around all the time and all I see is robots on auto program with the dominant narrative, which is perpetual and endless growth. Don't get me wrong, I love young faces. I love seeing young people, but it's countered by the fact that they have no future. I have no future. It's very surreal. I've just had to come to acceptance that they are culturally indoctrinated by their parents, society, education, the entire institutions, all of the institutions, from the dairy to the educational to the judicial. You can't rule out entertainment, the effect that has on a society, to work and work for a future that doesn't exist. It's like graduating high school and meeting freshmen everywhere. Suddenly you get out into the real world and found out that you're the only one who graduated high school. Can you knock on those people who are freshmen? Can you give them hell? Yes. For a little bit, I did, and I admit that. When I first was acceptance that we are a heat-generating civilization, no matter what, even if we convert over to green renewable energy, even if we could in the time, we're going to blow past 1.5 and 2 degrees. We're still going to generate heat and emissions to make all of that stuff. And to accept that part, the dilemma that we face, takes a certain level of insight, time, patience, emotional withstanding to literally digest the chaos of this information and piece it together. You know, as much as I would like to think I could just walk up to somebody and have that miraculous gift of transplanting this amount of time that I spent on understanding our predicament, like a thumbstick drive, and stick it into their head.
Input the data into the brain of a human courier, like Johnny Mnemonic.
Hit me.
You can. And there's no set of magic words. I've tried it all. I've tried every set of words in certain order to try to get the message across that the end is near. But people don't want to hear that. People they don't care. It breaks their little illusion, for one, and two, it's maybe not all that appropriate. And as far as your job goes, James Cameron was a truck driver when he wrote Titanic. So it doesn't matter what you do. Plenty of genius, smart people, had normal jobs. You just do that to get by, just to feed yourself. And honestly, I just feel like I'm a fish underwater. I've said this before. I just zone out. I just drive around and it's just like bloop, 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 and I just look around me. And probably the biggest struggle that I have is the existential despair I feel when I look into the eyes of other men. Do you know honestly what the fuck is happening right now? Like, it feels awkward that we're stuck in this shithole together. We're both, I could feel it in their eyes, and I could feel it in my eyes that something's not right. We're not connecting. There's no more community. There's a profound sense of disconnection, and it makes it's alienating, and it's a shitty feeling, and it makes you feel like, man, if push came to shove, could I really trust this person? It kind of feels like no, just because of the cultural environment that we're in. We're sold a bag of lies. Hi, yeah, all this is make-believe. How the hell did we get thrown into this predicament? And in regards to getting in heated discussions with other people, I don't even try. I don't even attempt anymore. The fact that we're going to breach past 2 degrees by 2034 at this rate, at the latest, doesn't warrant any of my energy to fight. There's a scene I recommend you watch with Bruce Lee, where my Bruce Lee fans will know this scene clearly. He's on a boat with the challengers to this competition. It's kind of like a Mortal Kombat, and one of the fighters tries to get cocky with him and want to test his martial arts skills. So Bruce proposes that they go to a nearby beach and they fight there because they're on a small, Chinese boat and there's no space.
On a beach.
He says, okay, here, you get on the boat. And then he just unwinds, the side raft, and he just undoes the raft and just lets him float off. Because it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. In light of knowing this information, there's nothing else that matters. Ideologies, philosophy, existentialism, and you have to carry the truth around with you. So, okay, I rambled on long enough, Aaron. I hope I was able to answer your question. I think it takes time. Practice, meditation, work on yourself, knowing thyself, and until you get to acceptance. I I just watched Beryl Sermachek's video of vlogs about how she's trying to comprehend the climate catastrophe. She's trying to think of solutions, and no, there is no solutions. We can't build 1 million carbon-sucking machines and convert our entire civilization over to renewable energy and teach everyone how to perform farming tasks and permaculture. We can't do that in a span of 2 to 3 years. And deploy mirrors. We can't do it. The battle is lost. So might as well go down looking pretty, right? Hope I was able to help. And thanks for subscribing and my Patreons. All the donations were really nice and they help out a lot. Okay? I'll stop rambling. I'll talk to you guys later. Have an awesome day.